Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Manchester United transfer and news roundup in under 10 minutes. Yesterday, Maguire's deal fell through, but another Manchester United player still has fallen through. That is Dean Henderson. He will not be going to Forest and he could be staying at United, which may be a problem as it was revealed last year that him and Eric Bailly were responsible for the leaks. And talking of Eric Bailly, we know that Ten Hag had banned him from training. Ten Hag was trying to terminate his contract and Ten Hag has completely kicked out Eric Bailly out of the squad, does not want him involved. But Eric Bailly seems to be refusing to leave, not going to Saudi Arabia, and Ten Hag is not happy with that. So Ten Hag is getting ruthless, and we're going to get right into what Ten Hag is doing. But there's a lot of news about Amrabat as well, people. Man United preparing a bid, Man United preparing an offer. Lots of reports coming out saying, look, Amrabat to United's happening, it's moving quick. Romano says, look, it might not be moving as quick as some of these reports are saying. United want to do this, this, and this before anything happens. Maguire staying, McTominay could stay, Donny could stay. And United, it looked like we signed Højlund, we were going to sell Maguire, Donny, Fred, Dean Henderson, and Scott McTominay. In the space of a week, it's gone from looking like we're going to sell 5 players for 100 million, sign Højlund and bring in Amrabat and Todibo to could anything else happen this transfer window? It's a bit depressing. But let's get into the Dean Henderson story. Lots to get through in today's show. And that is from the Nottingham Trails. That Forest plan to bring Henderson back is still in the form of a loan with an obligation to buy. It's now an impasse. His injury posed a problem for medical while Tom Heaton's injury became another hurdle. Man United wanted to get rid of Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson was desperate to leave Manchester United, partly not Dean Henderson's fault, but he has had injury issues. He got an injury in January, and Dean Henderson is set to stay another season at United. Dean Henderson will not be happy with this move. Dean Henderson wanted to leave United. We know that he came and did an interview saying, I wanted to leave before Ten Hag got here. Obviously, to keep me, I wouldn't get my move. Dean Henderson is not happy at Manchester United, and Ten Hag feels quite strongly about having unhappy players in the Manchester United camp. And I wouldn't be surprised if Dean Henderson is removed in the January window. But I think Ten Hag spoken to Dean Henderson and said, look, you're injured. You need to recover fully. I'll let you go out in January on loan. You're just going to have to stay another few months at United because Tom Heaton's now injured. La-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da. And we know that Dean Henderson's not going to be happy with that. But I trust Ten Hag to manage it well. I know Dean Henderson was responsible for some problems. But you've got to think of it this way. Eric Bailly and Telles, he refused to bring back completely at all. People like Dean Henderson, he let back into the dressing room. So, Dean Henderson was likely reported to be a leaker along with people like Lingard and Bailly. We don't know for sure if Dean Henderson was someone that was responsible for the leaks, but the fact that Ten Hag brought him on pre-season and brought him back and involved him, I don't think that Dean Henderson is much of an issue in the dressing room. But we know that Eric Bailly has been, and it is now said that Eric Bailly is now unlikely to join Al Nassr after they turned to Aymeric Laporte. He decided not to pursue a deal with Besiktas. Now, I'm surprised that Laporte would go to Al Nassr. I think Laporte's quite a good player, but Bailly has decided not to do a deal with Besiktas, and now he's not going to Saudi Arabia. And Bailly is technically still a Manchester United player, and Erik Ten Hag's getting really frustrated. He's told Bailly to go find a new club. He can go for free. And Eric Bailly doesn't seem to be finding a new club. Eric Bailly knows that if he stays at United on his current contract, or United buy him out of his contract, he's going to get a lot of money. And that's what's holding Eric Bailly up. It's the money he's going to get. He's done as a footballer. His football career is done. He's always injured. No top club wants him. Ten Hag doesn't want him. So he can just stay and just rinse the wages that Ed Woodward gave him. Silly wages Ed Woodward gave him. The Express added to this and said Man United boss has shown his ruthless side once again by reporting and informing both Eric Bailly and Brandon Williams that they're free to leave the club on permanent transfers as well. Brandon Williams has been told he's free to leave, and that's been made pretty obvious by the fact that Alvaro Fernandez was obviously playing ahead of Brandon Williams in pre-season. I like Brandon Williams. He went on pre-season. He's not a problem, but he's not good enough to be at Manchester United, and he needs to get that move hurrying up as well. What else was said on Eric Bailly? We reported this in another video as well. And the Muppeteer said there's lots of news to come. But he said in the meantime, everyone has said Eric Bailly will resume first-team training. The United Muppeteers reported a few weeks ago that Bailly will not be allowed to resume first-team training. We know that Bailly was banned from first-team training. But Erik Ten Hag's done a lot more to Bailly than ban him from first-team training. Erik Ten Hag's made it clear to Eric Bailly he's not to have contact or be involved with the United squad as well. Eric Bailly was dropped from pre-season. He's completely excluded from first team activities. Reports from Turkey indicate he agreed to deal with Besiktas, and United looked to terminate his contract, but then that fell through because Bailly wanted to go to Saudi Arabia for more money. So United are looking to terminate Bailly's contract. Ten Hag doesn't want him in the squad. Ten Hag doesn't have any involvement with the squad. Ten Hag is very, very clear. And people will say, why doesn't Ten Hag do that to Maguire? Why doesn't Ten Hag do that to Dean Henderson? Because at the end of the day, Eric Bailly has no use. And some of you will say that Eric Bailly is better than Maguire. Eric Bailly, there was a point where he should have been playing over Maguire. But Eric Bailly is injury prone. Eric Bailly was responsible for a lot of dressing room disharmony in last season under Rangnick. Rangnick dropped Bailly for Phil Jones. There's a reason for that. Eric Bailly was causing a lot of trouble behind the scene, which is why as soon as that season was over, Eric Bailly's not been seen in Man United training since the end of last season. He wasn't brought back last year as well. There's reports that Eric Bailly was causing a lot of problems. I don't know if those reports are true or not, but by the fact that Rangnick's acted, by the fact that Ten Hag's acted like this, I think the reports about Bailly causing leaks and lots of problems could be true. You know, Bailly used to like tweets saying that Maguire was rubbish, and some of you will go, well, Maguire was rubbish that game, but as his teammate, you can't do that. So the reason Bailly's contract's being terminated is because Ten Hag sees no use for him, whereas players like Maguire and Dean Henderson that Ten Hag would like to sell, they will still be of use. They can stay fit. They will still be needed because, as Ten Hag said, it's not a squad of 11 players. You need a big squad in football. So Fabrizio Romano has given an update on what could be going on with the likes of Amrabat, Donny van der Beek, and all of that as well. So I want to get into the latest news sort of on Amrabat, Donny van der Beek, McTominay and Maguire from Fabrizio Romano's mouth, because you know Fabrizio Romano is a tier 1 source. And Romano said on Amrabat, Man United have to sell 2 midfielders before signing Amrabat. He's pretty much suggested that the hold-up in the Amrabat deal could be because of, obviously, Donny has not been sold or McTominay has not been sold yet. And United did expect to sell Donny van der Beek by now. It was also said from Fabrizio Romano that for Manchester United to sign, they must sell another midfielder. Fred is gone and the other could be Donny van der Beek, but there's still no agreement with Real Sociedad. Another option could be Scott McTominay in the West Ham return, or another club joins the race. And I have to say, to give my opinion on this, to me, this is embarrassing for Manchester United. Did you see our midfield versus Wolverhampton Wanderers? Did you see how much trouble our midfield's going to be in? We've sold Fred. We've sold Heaton. We sold Fred. We sold Kovar. That pretty much covers the Amrabat move. Let's not make this Amrabat move dependent on Donny, because Amrabat, yes, he wants United. He's agreed to join United, but he might not wait around forever. This Amrabat move needs to happen because Man United need to. Look at Chelsea. Look at Liverpool bidding 110 million bids in. Look at everybody else. Yes, you've signed 3 players, but this Amrabat signing is needed. You have sold Fred. This player is literally needed. He's available for 25 million euros. He is begging to come. The fact that Man United are not making a move for Amrabat right now and are waiting to sell is embarrassing. We shouldn't be waiting to sell to sign a player like Amrabat. He costs £25 million. We've already got £22 million from our last 2 sales. What, are we waiting for another £3 million for Donny van der Beek? No, we should be signing him right now because the midfield market is crazy. Someone could swoop in and steal that. And I tell you this now, selling Maguire and getting another centre-back in, that would have been nice. That's what Ten Hag wanted. But it's not the end of the world that Maguire's staying. We're not getting another centre-back. Fred is gone. We need another midfielder. The problem when we're watching United isn't the centre-backs, it's the midfielders. A midfield signing needs to come, and a midfield signing needs to come ASAP. Absolutely ASAP, people, because I tell you what, I see that, and that's worrying. Fabrizio Romano said that Man United have not put in an official offer for Amrabat yet, and they've not approached the club. But obviously, there has been approaches with Amrabat, and Amrabat has verbal agreements with United, but United haven't actually put in a bid. Reports saying that United were going to put in a bid yesterday, obviously just made up because they saw that Man United had a gaping hole in the midfield and thought, well, let's say they're making a move for Amrabat. Romano did speak about the Harry Maguire situation. He said there were 2 problems with Maguire's potential move. Maguire's payoff was not agreed with Manchester United, and also his potential contract at West Ham was not discussed in detail, but complicated in principle. West Ham have now decided to look at different options. So Maguire had an agreement in principle, West Ham, but his contract wasn't officially agreed. But Romano has basically confirmed Maguire didn't leave United because he wants a payoff. Maguire stays at United because he's a money grabber. That is the facts. That is the absolute facts. He's staying for the money. I hope that he's good. I hope that he plays well for us. But if he's not playing for us, if Lindelof's playing ahead of him, Shaw's playing ahead of him, like they probably will be, and Colwell plays for England and he gets dropped, I won't have any sympathy for Maguire. You had a chance to leave for 30 million and redeem your career, and you stay for the money. I won't have any sympathy for Maguire anymore. I used to feel sorry for him a little bit. I thought he gets a bit too much stick, but sympathy's gone. And the problem with Maguire going is that Benjamin Pavard to United, which was quite advanced, there was a verbal agreement between United and Benjamin Pavard, is now off. People are saying, shouldn't we just sign Benjamin Pavard anyway? If we were Chelsea, we'd have signed Benjamin Pavard anyway, but we're not Chelsea, we're Man United, and we won't sell, we won't buy unless we sell, as Romano said. And Romano said on Benjamin Pavard that He's told Bayern Munich he won't sign a new contract and he wants to join United, but it is linked to Maguire's future. If Maguire stays, it's difficult to see United spending big money on a new centre-back, especially because Ten Hag appreciates Lindelof. So essentially, Fabrizio Romano is kind of confirmed. Yeah, Maguire's off. We're not signing a new centre-back, and we won't sign anyone until we sell. And this is probably a scrap to the end of the window, in all honesty, guys. I think the situation going on right now is, probably Amrabat once we sell a player. And it's probably not going to be an exciting end to the transfer window as well. But anyway, people, I can't speak. Anyway, people, please do smash that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. I hope you enjoyed today's 10-minute transfer roundup. See you next time. Back later for live stream. Bye.